Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Will S. We are talking about the Tao Te Ching and how to get back into spirit and alignment with the way. I will be your guide on this journey of 81 verses. Today I will be talking about verse 63. The Tao Te Ching was written 2,500 years ago by a man named Lao-Tzu. It is one of the oldest texts in existence and certainly one of the wisest. Its wisdom is timeless and its message is as relevant and important now as it was back then, if not more so. It is vital that we learn to come back into balance with the natural world, to live in a more harmonious and selfless way, and the Tao Te Ching beautifully instructs us in bringing ourselves and our lives into alignment with the Tao. Verse 63. Act without doing. Act without. Work without effort. Think of the small as large and the few as many. See simplicity in the complicated. Achieve greatness in little things. Difficult problems are best solved while they are still easy. The great projects are best started while they are still small. The master never takes on more than they can handle, which means they can leave nothing undone. They never strive for greatness, thus they achieve greatness. When they run into difficulty, they stop and give themselves to it because they always confront difficulties. The task is always easier than planned. Verse 63 offers advice for daily life, for approaching work and projects of any kind, and for dealing with difficulties and avoiding undue problems. The master sees the large in the small, and the simplicity in the seemingly complex. Simplicity seems to be the key message. Rather than chasing after the grandiose, the master keeps her focus on the small details, simply doing one thing at a time and never taking on more than they can handle. Working simply, effortlessly, and without forcing things is sure to tackle problems before they get out of hand. The simple instructions offer a Tao-based approach to daily life and to promise an easier, smoother path than we might otherwise experience when we lose sight of the Tao. So, Lao Tzu here says difficult problems are best solved while they are still easy, and see simplicity in the greatest and achieve greatness in the little things. This is a great little verse for people who struggle with procrastination, like I do. Um, People who tend to have bigger eyes or bigger eyes than stomach when it comes to projects, like I do. Um, I this past year or so, I've been trying to take on 3 different podcasts on top of my 9 to 5, and I've realized that I can only put so much time and energy into podcasting until this becomes a full-time gig, and I have sponsorship and a group of people willing to become patrons of my work. So, this is the podcast that I put the most time into, but at the same time, I don't let this project overrun my life. I'm just a guy. I'm relearning, re uh, rehashing the different verses as I go through the different 81 essays. Um, these are just my interpretations. I hope they're helpful to you. Um, if you are listening out there, please follow, like, subscribe. I'm going to be starting a new thing. I think after about verse 69, I'm looking at going on live either on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If that is something that you're interested in being a part of, being a part on a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live or a Twitter Live, let me know. You can always send me a message. Probably the best place is Twitter, but I'm also on Facebook at the Daily Taoist, on Instagram as well. Uh, we're once again, I think we're always the thing that I've come to realize this past week or so is that we are still human beings having a spiritual experience. I don't know if you guys have heard that quote before. Um, you know, I have done a fair amount of psychedelics in my life, and I've come to realize that this particular life is fleeting, right? So you might as well do the thing that you love to do. And if you're not absolutely in love with it, then it's probably not for you. Is what I've come to realize. And um, I look at my life from the viewpoint of a master craftsman. It's something I've learned from one of my podcast guests, Charles. I'd like to have him back on actually on the Doomer Bloomers. And right now, I'm in the journey person or the journey work stage of my life. Right, I'm past 25. I'm into my mid 30s, and I'm working up until into my mid. Well, the journey work stage is the longest stage you'll ever be in, right? Because you're building a life. You're carving yourself out of the raw material, the marble or the wood or whatever metaphor you want to use, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to rush. I think we get wrapped up in North America with rushing and getting, we want more, we want best, we want faster. And it doesn't work like that, right? So the Tao says they never strive for greatness, thus they achieve greatness, right? So I always say greatness is a state of being. It's not something that you can get, it's something that you are, right? And you need to start acting without doing and work without effort. And as a North American, it's a very it's a very Eastern way of looking at things, right? We want to actually start slowing down, not speeding up, right? We have only so much time on this earth, and we want to make the most out of it. So, with that being said, please get in contact with me. Follow, like, subscribe on your favorite platform, whether that's Spotify, YouTube. Really helps the algorithm on YouTube if you could become a subscriber. And I'm going to start posting the lives in and around episode 69. 69! That's hilarious. For those of you who are fans of Goon. As always, guys, I love each and every one of you in the Mandelbrot universe, the fractal universe that we live in. Keep your stick on the ice. Namaste from Will S.